Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. Well, we all know that COVID-19 has affected the restaurant and travel industry, but how has it affected the real estate industry here in Springfield and across the country as well? So Wayne Frederick with See the Field Consulting is joining us today. Wayne, thanks for being here. So the big question is it safe to show homes right now? What impact has COVID-19 had on the real estate industry here locally?
Thank you, John. It is. So the first question, is it safe? It is safe as long as people take the proper precautions. Proper precautions being masks, gloves, and most of the time, for lack of a better word, footies, right, when people go into a house. It is safe. We're doing a lot more with video now, videotaping houses and sending those things out to clients and things like that. It has had an effect on the local market, not nearly the effect, though, that it has had in some other markets in other states.
Absolutely, I can see that. And, before all of this started, I would assume the state of the real estate market here in Springfield, from what I heard, was in very good shape.
Yeah, it was incredible. It's an incredibly strong market. And as an example, we have about a 1.5 month supply of properties on the market in Greene County, a little over 2 months supply in Christian County. A market would be deemed to be in equilibrium if you had 6 months supply of property. So we came into this with very, very low inventory, and that has maintained. I just pulled up some numbers. In the last 24 hours, there have been 76 new listings that have come into our multi-list system, but there's been 89 properties go under contract. We're actually on pace for April of 20 compared to April of 2019. We're on pace for the business only to be off about 15%.
Wow, that's incredible. The business staying strong here despite what's been going on. Now, how, it doesn't seem like it's been too much, but how has, workers being furloughed, has that hurt them with their standing with the bank if they're trying to get a loan at all? How has that affected, buyers' abilities to still put homes under contract here?
It has. And there's been some people that, had properties under contract and then they got furloughed. So when you get in a situation like that, what you have to do is you just have to keep extending the closing dates as long as the seller will continue to do it. Because if you're on furlough, you're not going to qualify for a loan. And the reason is they don't know when you're going to come back to work. And obviously with a loan, they're looking at a long-term obligation and they want to know that you're back, that you're going to come back to work. Even if your employer got the PPP, that still doesn't help you because they don't know when you're actually going to come back to work. So what we've been doing is trying to get sellers to extend the contracts on out, kick the can down the road, if you will, until people get off furlough.
Absolutely. And, has there been other potential roadblocks for buyers going forward, like, having a hard time getting the inspector in there to look at the property or some of the other things that go along with home buying? Have there been other delays that have pushed home buyers back just a little bit?
It hasn't really been on the inspection side. Right before all this happened, we had incredibly low interest rates. Before we got shut down in Greene County, probably literally 3 or 4 days before, rates dropped to historic low and everyone started refinancing. So what's happened on the appraisal side is the appraisers are having a really hard time getting into the properties because they have such a backlog of appraisals. So the lenders have started changing some of the rules. They're doing what's called a drive-by appraisal, more data-driven than physical inspection. When they do that, they want to make sure that they're not making any risky loans. So what we've seen is down payment requirements have gone up and credit score requirements have gone up in the short term. So it's changed the market a little bit that way.
Absolutely. Now, has there been, any big differences between having, people come in, walk through homes as opposed to doing some of these video tours? Has this been, different on you and different on buyers as well?
I think coming out of this, what we're going to see is I think we've all become much more comfortable with what we're doing right now with either a Zoom video or the Microsoft product or whatever. And I think realtors are becoming more comfortable on video because we're having to do it more. And I think moving forward, this may change the landscape a little bit. We may just naturally use more video moving forward. Obviously, the vast majority of people still want to make that physical visit into a house, but we may see video change the way people look at property. We may do a lot more preliminary work via video versus actually physically going out and touring properties. Maybe you narrow down to your top 3 via video, and then you go take a look at them.
For sure. I think it's going to change how a lot of us do business because, plenty of people hadn't even heard of Zoom about 7 weeks ago, and it's crazy how quickly things have changed. Last question before we let you go, Wayne. Just compare and contrast the real estate market here in the Ozarks as compared to other places around the country, some harder hit areas.
So it's really interesting. In the work that I do, I work with real estate brokers all over the country. I have clients in New Jersey, just outside of New York City, and they're right in the middle of the hotbed of this. There's literally, while they were deemed to be essential in New Jersey, there's no transactions going on because literally no one's leaving their houses. If you go to Pennsylvania, you're not allowed to look at or sell houses. Same thing with Michigan. If you go over to Oklahoma, from just a real estate standpoint, nothing has really changed because they haven't had that many cases. So it has really boiled down to how many cases there have been in your immediate area as to how it's affected the real estate market. We've been very, very lucky in Southwest.
Absolutely, and hopefully we'll all make it out of this sooner rather than later. Wayne Frederick with See the Field Consulting. Wayne, thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it.
We'll be back with more Ozarks Tonight right after this.